Resuming debate, reprise de débat. The honourable member for Fort McMurray Cold Lake has 5 minutes for right of reply.
Bravo, bravo.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to thank everyone who spoke today in support of private member motion 192, a motion to create equity for Canadians living with episodic disabilities. I'm so blessed to have the support of such incredible colleagues here in the House of Commons today. Over the past few weeks, I've been overwhelmed by the outpouring of support we have received from tens of thousands of Canadians across Canada. I've heard from mothers, fathers, siblings, and friends of Canadians suffering from episodic disabilities. I heard from countless organizations like the MS Society of Canada pledging their support to this motion. I have heard from so many of my fellow members of Parliament, senators, and senior government officials showing how far-reaching this issue truly is. And most importantly, I have heard from thousands of sufferers of episodic disabilities in Canada, all of whom have inspired me to push even further on this incredible, important issue. As you all know, my wife Kathy suffers from multiple sclerosis, an autoimmune disease of the central nervous system affecting the brain and spinal cord. It causes symptoms such as extreme fatigue, lack of coordination, weakness, tingling, impaired sensation, vision problems, and the list goes on, Madam Speaker. Like most episodic disabilities, MS changes the lives of all those impacted. Episodic disabilities are also known as hidden disabilities. They are not easily seen, but are most definitely felt by the sufferer. These disabilities affect the vision, hearing, memory, mobility, flexibility, dexterity, pain, and psychological conditions of an individual. Episodic disabilities include, but not limited to, cancer, HIV, epilepsy, multiple sclerosis, Crohn's disease, diabetes, and the list goes on. For too long, Canadians with episodic disabilities have not been properly recognized by government legislation. The unpredictable nature of their disabilities have made it almost impossible for these Canadians to have equal access to jobs, resources, treatments, and even basic equality in government legislation. According to Stats Canada, there are more than 5 million Canadians living with some form of disability. These disabilities affect the freedom, independence, and quality of life for those who are affected, and sadly, over 200,000 of these disabled persons are children and youth. I will do everything I can to advance the quality of life for those living with episodic disabilities with this motion and in the future. Once again, thank you to everyone here today supporting this motion, and thank you to all Canadians who have reached out to tell their stories. We all know it's time to take action. It's time to vote yes to pass private members motion 192. It is time to stand up for Canadians everywhere suffering from episodic disabilities. Together, we can build a stronger, more inclusive Canada where our compassion breaks down barriers for people living with disabilities of all kinds. Thank you, Madam Speaker.